right? Then this software can check that information and throw a warning message to the sales guy saying that the date cannot be met, something like that, right? So here we can automate. Whereas in a non-ERP setup, the only way to achieve this would be for the sales guy to call the materials team to check whether that particular item is available, and similarly call the production team to check whether they can produce this within this given period of time, right? Whereas in an ERP system, you can avoid such manual checks. You can develop the software in such a way that the software itself can validate all of these things for you across business functions of the organization. Okay, so that's the one big advantage of the ERP system. So SAP is an ERP system where once you implement an SAP, then you can pretty much handle all of your business activities using the SAP software. So you no more need any standalone software. And SAP is so flexible that it can be easily integrated with other systems also. So for example, for certain things you're using SAP, and for certain things you're using another non-SAP system, then you can easily integrate those systems with SAP system as well. Okay. So that's the difference between an ERP and a non-ERP system. Now, as I said, SAP is not the only ERP system in the market. There are other competitors for SAP, and there are actually hundreds of ERP vendors available in the market. But these three, SAP, Oracle, and Microsoft Dynamics, are the top three ERP vendors. So let's compare these three on certain parameters. The current market share for SAP is around 20.3%, whereas Oracle is around 13.9%, and Microsoft Dynamics is around 9.4%. So SAP has been the market leader in terms of ERP software, and so far it's still the market leader, but other vendors are catching up. And average implementation duration, how much time does it take to implement an SAP system? Right, for a company who's not using an SAP system and now they decide to implement an ERP system, for example, how much time does it take? So for SAP, the average duration is around 19.5 months. For Oracle, it's 23.4, and for Microsoft Dynamics, it's 24.9 months. So SAP, you can implement a bit faster compared to other ERP vendors. And how much does it cost on an average? For SAP, it's around $2.2 million. And for Oracle, 2.7 million, and Microsoft Dynamics is a bit cheaper at $1.7 million. That's the average cost of ownership for implementing the ERP system. And how much time does it take to get a return on investment? For SAP, it's much quick. It's around 9 months, whereas for Oracle and Microsoft Dynamics, it's 21 months and 22 months respectively. So SAP, as you can see, once you put the effort of implementing SAP, it is actually giving you a faster return on investment. And the disruption at go live. For example, once you implement the system and once you go live, does it disrupt your business? That means you're not able to perform certain important activities for your business. It's not that some software is not working. Disruption at go live means you have to actually stop your business because of the software. Let's say the delivery documents could not be printed and the trucks are not able to go ahead with the delivery. So that's a disruption to the business. So for SAP, it's around 57%, and for Oracle, 60%. Both are almost similar. For Microsoft Dynamics, it's much higher at 71%. So in terms of these parameters, SAP seems to perform better. And I do have another set of comparison. How much customization is required when you implement these systems? Okay, what do I mean by customization? Basically, when you implement this SAP or any ERP system, they come with a lot of predefined, pre-developed applications that you can use out of the box. For example, once you implement SAP system and the sales guy wants to create a sales order, you don't have to develop that application. The SAP has already developed that application. You can simply use that application to create a sales order as long as it meets your business requirement. So how many customers are able to use the system out of the box without really customizing much? Okay, there are certain configurations you have to do. Once you implement any system, you have to set up certain things, set up some master data, set up organization structure. These are configurations. So I'm not talking about configurations. I'm talking about customizations in terms of how much of the existing software has to be changed to meet your business requirement. So in that terms, for SAP, around 30% customers are able to use the SAP system with zero customization. They're just implementing SAP, and whatever standard SAP applications are provided by SAP, they are able to use them for their business needs without changing anything. Okay. For Oracle, it's around 5%. And for Microsoft Dynamics, it's almost 0%. That means if you implement Microsoft Dynamics, you have to do some customization before you can use the system. Whereas for SAP, almost 30% of customers are able to use the system without doing any customization. Again, this is the data I pulled out from the internet, so I don't watch for the reliability, but this is the information I found. So no customization for SAP is around 30%, and almost 40% of the SAP customers are able to manage with 40% customization. When I say minor customization, it could be something like, for example, you are creating a sales order and the SAP standard application allows you to capture a lot of information while creating the sales order, but there are certain information you want to capture additional to what SAP is allowing you to capture. So you have to enhance that application to add your extra fields so that, while creating the order, you also input that extra data into the order. So such type of minor customizations, almost 40% of SAP customers are able to achieve that. For Oracle, it's around 30%, and for Microsoft Dynamics, it's almost 32%, right? So if you see overall, almost 70% of SAP customers are able to use the system with zero or minor customizations. Okay, so once you invest in SAP, you are able to use that software out of the box without investing anything else in terms of customization, because this really plays an important role. The customization required actually decides how much time it will take to implement the system, because once you implement SAP and if it is not meeting your business requirements, you cannot use that software, right? So, and if you're not using the software, it's no point implementing that software. So you implement it and then customize it, and after that you go live with the software. So in such terms, almost 70% of SAP customers are able to manage with zero to minor customizations. And in terms of some customizations where you're actually changing a bit more of the software to meet your business requirements, then around 30% of SAP customers are doing some customization, whereas it's almost 50% for Oracle and 32% for Microsoft Dynamics, right? So for Oracle, the customers are doing either minor or some customization. Majority of customers are doing that. For SAP, majority of customers are doing no customization or minor customization. But for Microsoft Dynamics, again, you have to use either minor or some customization before you can use the system. And when we talk about significant customization, that means you are really changing a lot of things in the standard applications provided, or the standard application doesn't really meet your requirements, so you are developing your own applications. Okay, so for Oracle and Microsoft Dynamics, it's around 10%, and SAP, such scenarios are almost zero, where you have to really significantly change something before you can use the SAP system. So in that terms, SAP performs much better compared to other ERP vendors. And for Microsoft Dynamics, the another disadvantage is that more than 20% of the customers are doing extreme customization. That means the system is really not meeting their requirement and they have to do something on their own to make it work for them, right? So that's a very bad parameter to have. So as you can see, SAP is doing better in terms of customization. It's much easier to implement and go live with SAP, because with zero to minor customizations, you are able to achieve a lot of things for your business. Now, as I said, ERP is not the only product SAP has. It has various other products as well, but we'll be focusing more on the ERP. It's also called the ECC system, ERP Central Component. So SAP has like ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, Customer Relationship Management, CRM, this PLM, Product Lifecycle Management, SCM, SRM, like that. SAP has various products, and these products are called business suites. When I say business suite, it basically means that it comes with a lot of predefined software. So it really comes with all the software that a business needs to carry out their day-to-day activities. So that's called business suite software. So these are the different SAP products available, and majority of the companies implement the ERP system, and depending on the company's profile, they may go with a CRM system or an SCM system, depending on that. But the major product of SAP is the ERP software. That is the software we'll be using in our training, and all this training will be based on the ERP product of SAP. And it is important for you to understand the product naming convention so that you rightly identify which product you're working on, what is the version of that product. Because sometimes in ABAP, since ABAP has been evolving over a period of time, and with every new release, SAP tries to make it better. So it may release new features. So some features that are available in 7.5 system may not be available in a 7.4 system. Similarly, some features that are available in 7.4 system may not be available in 7.3 system. So it is important for you to know which version of the software are you using in your organization. So there are three terms we use. One is the platform version, the system version, and the enhancement package. So the platform is the NetWeaver. NetWeaver is the brand name used by SAP. So the current latest version is NetWeaver 7.5 with a service pack 02. For example, if you once you log into your SAP system, if you go to system status and click on this button, product version, and look at install products, you can see it's SAP NetWeaver, version is 7.5. That's the latest one. So this training will be based on the latest SAP system available as of today. And system is the ERP system. So it also has a version which is 6. And the ERP system, SAP frequently releases new features, new applications, new configurations in the system in terms of enhancement package. So the latest enhancement package available for our ERP system is 8. So we'll say this ERP system is also called ECC system. So you can either say my current system is ERP 6 with enhancement package 8 or EHP 8, or we'll also say ECC 6 EHP 8 system. So you also get ECC 6 EHP 7 system, EHP 3 system, EHP 4 system, so like that. So with the enhancement package, once you implement the enhancement package, then you'll introduce good new features, new updates, new software into your system. So these are regularly released by SAP at frequent intervals. So SAP will upgrade their platform version. So from 7.4, they've updated the platform to 7.5, which will bring in system level advancements like more better integrations with third-party systems, for example, or new features in the runtime environment, things like that. When you upgrade your ERP system, you get new applications, or the existing applications have been enhanced to perform better or provide you more features, right? So the software upgrade comes from the upgrading the ERP system. So you can upgrade your platform version as well as the system version. Modules in SAP. It's important for you to understand what are the different modules available in SAP, and to understand as an ABAP consultant where exactly you fit in. And all the business verticals, like we've seen, we have the sales department, materials department, right? So each of these can be termed as a module in SAP. Okay, so in SAP we have functional modules and technical modules. Functional modules are more related to the business. Technical modules are more related to the system. So under functional modules we have finance. So for example, you want to use finance related or you want to have your finance department use the SAP system, then you have to implement this finance module in your SAP system. Then it will bring in all the finance related transactions and the integrations with it, so that your finance team can use those transactions to perform their day-to-day activities. So similarly, we have controlling. Basic difference is that finance is used for maintaining the accounts in legally. Controlling the same data